What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Unhinged Talk. As usual, I'm your host, Patrick Hennessy. Tonight, just joined by Paraskevas Xenophontos. How are we doing tonight, Para?
Great, man. We just won the game, so
Fresh off a
great.
nice win. Took the
A nice
series from the
sweep.
Braves.
A
Yeah,
nice
two
two-game
game sweep.
sweep.
Two-game
So,
sweep. Everything kind of looked good tonight. When was it? Tuesday night? Yeah, Tuesday night, they looked completely sloppy, even though they did come out with the win. But the offense looked good tonight. Pitching was good tonight, even though they used way too many pitchers than they should have. But the main player tonight who really broke eyes out, is that even a saying, broke eyes out? I don't know. But
I mean,
Clint Frazier, bro. Clint Frazier.
all we can say about Clint Frazier is just put yourself in his shoes. Imagine being sent down to Scranton so many times with so many opportunities that you have, and every time you come up, you prove it. And everybody's like,
Yep.
yeah, your defensive skills are not too great. But realistically, didn't look too bad tonight defensively. But
Bro, but I
what
mean,
is he?
he didn't get that
What?
much action, but he still didn't look too bad.
But what if Clint Frazier doing his first at bat in the new 60-game season?
A tanker. A tanker. A
410
tanker.
feet, I believe, right after
Bro,
Gary Sanchez hit a home run. And listen, I know I give Gary some hate this year, but I give respect. That was a nuke to left center. I mean
yeah,
left
it was a
field.
shot. Yeah, Gary
But
connected. But really, like, my thing with Frazier is that I've said it. This is his opportunity now. And it's a shame that it takes both Judge and Stan getting hurt for him to finally get his opportunity. But now that he has it, he's not going to squander it. We already know that Frazier he's capable of being an absolute beast at the plate. And he kind of showed it tonight. He didn't kind of show it. He showed it tonight, going 3 for 4, a triple away from the cycle. And even in the one at bat where he did get out, it was a solid ass at bat. He's just, no one has ever questioned his offensive capability. The main thing
but
is his defensive skill. And
but the sad thing is, instead of bringing him up and utilizing him in Talkman in left and center, you have a veteran guy like Brett Gardner wasting a roster spot in the eighth or
yep,
ninth spot. And what is he batting? 171?
about 171, yeah. But it's a shame because, like you said, Clint Frazier, Mike Talkman, they're both much better options than Brett Gardner. But for some reason, he still finds himself in the lineup every day. Now, the reason that Clint Frazier and Mike Talkman are getting a little bit more playing time now is because Judge is out. But Judge isn't going to be out for long. Hopefully not. Anyway, I'm expecting him to be back Friday for the Boston series, which it kind of puts Clint Frazier's place on this Yankees team in question
I mean, if you
because
really look at it, if Boone wants to protect Judge at all costs, Judge can be your DH. And it's not going to
yeah,
be hard to put in Talkman in left and Frazier in right for
no,
Friday
I mean,
series.
especially because Mike Ford hasn't been spectacular as a DH so far. He's
He
had some
hasn't
big
been
hits, but
spectacular, but he comes up when you need him. Like if you
yeah,
need an
sure.
RBI double, he'll give it to you.
But that's why I would love him off the bench. He's an awesome guy off the bench, and we've seen what he's been able to do as a pinch hitter. So if we had to pick a DH at this point, I would go with Clint over Ford. Test it out. Depends on matchups and whatnot. But also Mike Talkman has to be starting in left field. That's a no-brainer at this point. But also one point I want to make about Frazier is everyone's knocked him on his defense. Defense has been atrocious, and we know that he's not
Listen,
the best defensive
listen.
outfielder.
I even
But
admitted, I even said it on previous podcasts. I'm not a big fan of his defense, but when it comes to the bat, Clint can deliver. Like honestly, the guy comes up last year. Don't forget when Judge was hurt and Stanton was hurt. He carried that offense
he did. He
by
did.
the
For
end
the
of
time he was
April.
up, he produced.
Yeah.
And that there's
So
no question about that. But today, I think we saw something out of Clint that was very interesting. And Brian Hoke posted a video on Twitter before the game with the tarp on the field. Clint was out on the field early, one of the few people working on his defense. He wants this opportunity more than anybody else. And he goes on record by saying that right now he feels like he's a better player than he ever has been before. So the confidence is there, the talent is there. All he needs is the opportunity. And if the Yankees could give it to him, it's the Clint Frazier show in the Bronx because the talent is just it's unlimited. Like we don't know what Clint Frazier is capable of getting every day at bats. We've only seen him go up and down. He's hot, and then he goes down
yeah.
again. They need to give him a clear-cut shot. I'm sorry, Brett Gardner. We say this every podcast episode, but it's time to take a seat on the bench. I'm not saying Brett Gardner sucks, but I don't even know if this is his decision to make at this point. It's management. But Brett Gardner cannot be in that starting lineup every day when you have Mike Tauchman and Clint Frazier. It's brutal. But yeah. The only other gripe I have about this game was one thing in particular, and that's Adam Ottavino coming in for 4 pitches. Like at that point, you're up by 4 runs in the game. Why is Adam Ottavino being wasted on 4 pitches? Is it matchups? Because if it is, then just bring in Jonathan Holder. Because that's who's coming in after him anyway.
I mean, Holder did come in and he had what? Let's look at it right now.
I mean, he wasn't too good, which is the reason why Clinton had to come in.
He had 9 pitches. He gave up 2 hits and 1 run.
Yeah. I mean, Holder wasn't good. But wasting – because Boone's whole thing is he doesn't like to use guys more than 3 days in a row. But with an off day tomorrow, maybe now that I think of it, it kind of makes sense. Just use your guys now because there's an off day tomorrow, so it doesn't really matter if he throws 4 pitches. But bottom line, everything worked out tonight. Gary hit a home run, broke out of his slump. Frazier went 3 for 4. DJ is still an absolute machine. It's crazy how when we do these post-game recaps and look at the game, we always look past him even when he goes 4 for 5. It's ridiculous how it just blows over everyone's head at this point.
When Corona began and we kept doing podcasts week in and week out, our number one question was will DJ live up to the hype he had last year?
No one ever could have
over-exceeding that. He's over-exceeding that, bro. He's batting over 430. Give this man $100 billion. Give him sign him.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, because at this point, my main question is, so when people were talking about extending DJ LeMahieu this past offseason, my main question is, let's see what he could do in 2020 first before we do that, because you don't want to give a guy extension after 1 season. I think he's proved that even as he ages, this guy's he's going to be a pure hitter. He's one of those guys, no matter his age, no matter where he plays, he's just going to hit. It had nothing to do with Colorado before. He's just a hitting machine. And you know what? At the end of the season, give this man whatever money he's worth, because I don't know where the Yankees lineup would be right now without him. He's the only pure hitter in that lineup.
Honestly, when you look at DJ, he gives you everything we've always wanted. He's a small ball type of player. He's going to give you your doubles. He's going to get you your RBIs. He's going to get you your hits. Don't forget, DJ was the last person to hit a home run in last year's season. He came up clutch in the top of the ninth.
Clutch.
As much as we all didn't want it to happen after the cheating Astros hit the game walk off the Aroldis Chapman, but honestly, DJ's worth maybe, I would say, between $18 to $20 million a year.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, but regardless, great series. They really needed that after the shit show in Tampa. That's an easy way of putting it. But 4-game series against the Red Sox. Got a tough stretch now. No off days until 24th. So just have to hope for the best against Boston, Tampa, Mets. And that's all I have to say, unless you have something you want to chime in.
I mean, just hope for the next series they come out and destroy Boston. That's all we can say.